So, Days Gone director is whining yet again about Days Gone not getting a sequel. This time he's comparing the sales of Days Gone with the likes of Ghost of Tsushima, which just officially reached 8 million copies sold at the beginning of this year in 2022. As you can see, Sucker Punch has made a tweet about this. Yeah, they posted like a celebratory GIF online. Meanwhile, Jeff Ross, the director of Days Gone, his response to this news is, and I quote, "At the time I left Sony, Days Gone had been out for a year and a half and a month and sold over 8 million copies. It's since gone on to sell more than a million plus on Steam. Local studio management always made us feel like it was a big disappointment." End quote. Well, there's a reason for that, Jeff Ross. And he already knows what the reason is for this. I'm pretty certain he didn't go into full detail and why, they turned down the pitch. I already made a video about this quite some time ago. But I'm going to revisit the issue, which is really a non-issue. Days Gone was not a good game at all. It was extremely generic. It was extremely mediocre. And the reviews for the game reflected that. Now, Ghost of Tsushima, which I did, complete Ghost of Tsushima, and I uploaded my own retrospective for Ghost of Tsushima when it, came out. Ghost of Tsushima, I had my issues with that game as well. A lot of what Ghost of Tsushima did was clearly taken directly from the Assassin's Creed franchise, as well as, some elements were cherry-picked from, the Batman Arkham series as well. So it's not like Days Gone is the only game that's guilty of not being original. But Ghost of Tsushima most certainly had more of an artistic flair by comparison. There was more of a vision, a singular vision with Ghost of Tsushima that Days Gone did not have. And of course, sales reflected this. Because what he's failing to mention in this tweet right here is that Days Gone sold 38.8% fewer copies than another PS4 exclusive. You may as well, round that up to 40%. It sold around 40% fewer copies than, Horizon Zero Dawn, which was also an open world game, similar to Days Gone, also similar to Ghost of Tsushima. The ending was not well received, unlike Ghost of Tsushima, which is most certainly one of the best endings I've ever seen in a video game. And Horizon Zero Dawn also had, a pretty good ending. So while Days Gone sold, people bought Days Gone in surplus. There's a lot of people out there that bought Days Gone. Days Gone was not received as well as other PlayStation exclusives. It wasn't received anywhere near as well as Horizon Zero Dawn. It wasn't received anywhere near as well as Ghost of Tsushima, or God of War, or The Last of Us Part 2. Oh, and then there's the Day 1 patch with Days Gone, which turned out to be around 67 gigabytes. I remember it being around 20 gigabytes myself. Either way, that is way too large of an update, because Days Gone was clearly released unfinished. It had numerous day one bugs and glitches that were game breaking and that ruined the experience. And the experience was already mediocre and generic as is. So that certainly didn't help, combined with the mediocre scores that it received. So there is more to the story as to why Sony Ben wasn't able to greenlight a sequel for Days Gone. There's a lot more to the story that Mr. Jeff Ross doesn't want to admit in his tweet. Yes, your game sold, but no one really cared, aside from, this niche audience that just doesn't have good taste in anything. Because if I scroll down here into the comments, as we can see right here, we have people who consider Ghost of Tsushima to be the much better game. Like this person right here, who has some kind of strange opposite point of view, who claims that he wasn't able to finish Ghost of Tsushima for how repetitive it is, but you finish Days Gone. So this person must be like a casual gamer that doesn't have good taste in games. That's the only thing that tells me. Now, don't get me wrong, I had an issue with the repetitive nature of Ghost of Tsushima as well. But I still managed to push through and actually finish what was on, the open world map. Because the base gameplay itself was actually, designed with a certain level of quality compared to Days Gone, which was just, once again, mediocre and generic in just about every single way. When combined with the bugs and glitches that had plagued the game since its first day out on the market, Days Gone, clearly was not on the same level of quality as other PlayStation exclusives, especially when you look at the story, which seems to have been written by someone who has a teenager mentality. All of these reasons, and then some, is why Sony turned down the pitch for a sequel to Days Gone. Now, you can like Days Gone all you want. I think Sony has pretty much made it clear that they have no interest in making a sequel to Days Gone. It takes more than sales numbers for a particular IP to be worth the investment to return to that IP and continue investing in that IP for follow-up installments. And Days Gone did not perform well in terms of critical reception or audience retention compared to other PlayStation exclusives. Therefore, it does not deserve a sequel. And fans of Days Gone, they'll have you scratching your head as to why they feel that Days Gone was worth the investment, when clearly it wasn't. This is a simple case of a guy who just can't let something go. Days Gone didn't work out, man. It's done. It's time to move on. He's like a divorced husband who keeps complaining about the fact that his wife left him. Dude, it's done. It's over. Let it go.